Hi, I'm Kate from Clutter Shop, and I make goods and accessories, little handmade goods, which I sell online at Etsy.com. It's an online marketplace for handmade stuff of all kinds. But today I'm going to show you how to use an apron, the waistband of an apron, and turn it into a cute little belt, which you can whip up in very little time and with very little skill. Well, let me tell you what we're going to need to get started. First is an apron of some kind. I find these at estate sales, flea markets, antique stores, Salvation Army, and they're often made of really cute fabrics. The waistbands still are in pretty good shape because the food hasn't spilled on them. The next item we need is a belt buckle. I tend to pick up these older buckles whenever I find them. Fairly basic sewing supplies, pins and needles, some thread, scissors, snaps, and this is waistband interfacing. And we're going to put this inside the fabric of our belt just to give it a bit more heft. And then the other big item is a seam ripper. And then we'll need an iron and an ironing board. The first thing we want to do is take out the seam that attaches this waistband to the skirt. And the easiest way to do this quickly with a seam ripper, you pick one side and just every 3 stitches or so, put in the seam ripper, insert it into the stitch, and just break it in half. And after you've gone down the length, you turn it over, and this other thread, you can just pull out the other side. This is the most tedious part. Okay, freedom. We freed our waistband. Why not just cut out and sew your own belt? Why mess with this taking apart of an apron? And the reason why I do it is because somebody's already gone to the work of cutting the fabric in an appropriate width and length and has already messed with making sure the seams align, the fabric's cut right, measuring. This is the side we're gonna iron our interfacing to. This is a vintage iron, a Sunbeam. Now we're gonna come back and fold it along our original fold. We wanna leave a little bit to attach our belt buckle, and then make sure that I'll probably wear this around my hips. So I'm just estimating right about here. I'm gonna cut the fabric off. And that's about as precise as I do. And just pinned it along that fold. That's just so it doesn't slip while I'm sewing it. So I'm just gonna sew a stitch very close to the edge of the fabric here, just to close up what we've done. Gotten to the other side, so we're just gonna close it up. Just press it a little bit with the iron. And now we're gonna add our belt buckle. And it's nice that the belt is just a little bit wider than the opening because it gives it a little tension. Some of these little snap setting devices take a hammer, and that's the kind I'm using. So you pound the snap in place. But if you don't have a hammer, you don't want to mess around with that, hand-sewn snaps are easy to find, and they work just as well. We're basically just snapping, we're just creating a loop, which will fit around the buckle. And she's ready to wear. Do it myself fashion accessory.